With that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Right.
Everybody now has an opportunity to pull up their chair.
Over the past year, Cheryl has been targeting Caitlin Clark with odd charges that she is a 25-year-old competing against teenagers, that her debut season was poor, and that nobody wants to play with her. The assault seemed to carry on forever.
They will recognize, her game, but they won't recognize her impact.
Right.
How can you separate the two? It's kind of hard, right?
I used Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big.
The legendary basketball player and former Clark coach Cheryl Miller then entered the ring and deconstructed the false notions, labeling Swoops a gigantic idiot and delivering a knockout blow to All the Smoke podcast. With Miller swooping in her place and her defense of Caitlin Clark hinting at something surprising about the Indiana Fever's future, fans are ecstatic. Are you ready? Come on.
Player of the Year, two-time national championship, two-time tournament MVP, first woman to dunk in an organized game, gold medalist. Thank you for making time. Welcome to the show, Cheryl Miller.
Before we analyze everything Miller said, have you ever wondered why one of the greatest basketball players of all time appears so determined to crush the WNBA's most promising newcomer? Let's look at the peculiar campaign Cheryl Swoops has launched against Caitlin Clark from her rookie season until her college days.
Also talk about how much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20.
It all started when Swoops made grossly inaccurate statements on Clark's time in college. Swoops asserted that Clark was a 25-year-old playing against 20-year-olds while attending Iowa, which may have been her most absurd assertion. Like many other college seniors, Clark was actually just 22 years old and in her fourth year of play. When questioned about this lie, Swoops retracted, saying that it was only exaggeration pertaining to COVID qualifying requirements. This was a flimsy defense that failed.
It probably takes about 40 shots a game.
Carry on.
I know you like that.
Hell yeah.
I said that because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots.
But Swoops was only getting started when she said that Clark was a self-centered volume shooter who took 40 shots per game. Clark really averaged 22.7 shots per game. The fact that Swoops herself averaged 19.22 shots per game during her senior year, just 3 fewer than Clark, makes this assertion particularly absurd. Speaking of throwing stones from a glasshouse, Swoops altered his strategy when Clark was approaching the all-time NCAA scoring record by suggesting that it would take him a 5th year to surpass it.
If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
Swoops boldly claimed she wouldn't rule the WNBA when she joined. However, Swoops conveniently disregarded the fact that the co-eligibility rule would have given Clark a 5th year, but she decided not to use it as she began to break rookie assist records and establish herself as one of the league's top playmakers. The figures are self-evident. With an average of 19.2 points and a league-high 8.4 assists per game at the end of her debut season, Clark silenced her detractors and won Rookie of the Year.
Be good. What I said was I didn't think Caitlin or Angel would come into the league and dominate immediately, which I don't think either of them did.
Respectfully, there is absolutely no way, even when we're trying to sit here and play semantics about dominating, there's no way that anyone could ever leave this season in saying that both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese didn't dominate. You would have to further explain what dominance means for you to not sit here and say that a player who is leading the league in assists while averaging 19 to 20 points didn't dominate.
When Swoop appeared on Angel Reese's podcast, she continued to disparage Clark while saying she didn't hate her. Perhaps the most telling example was a well-known instance of saying one thing while doing another.
She was in college. I helped do her shoe deal with Nike in 1993, took her to her first SBs. I've known Cheryl, I've coached her, have a lot of respect for her. I called her when Caitlin was still playing at Iowa, and she had just broken Maravich's record. And it was all over the place, as you and I have discussed, that, you know, there was this quote by Cheryl that said, you know, Caitlin was, you know, 25 years old. She was, however old, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior.
Right.
She was taking 40 shots a game. Her records were...
Swoops was eventually prohibited from broadcasting a Fever game after the basketball community became aware of this tendency. Nancy Lieberman, who wasn't scared to reveal the incorrect information being spread about the rookie star, took Swoop's position.
The treadmill, and I called her as a friend, and I said, you know, you can say whatever you want, you can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. And if you just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers, then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion. And, you know, you might like Boston, I might like the Yankees. You know, it's okay to have difference of opinions. Well, she got upset with me on the phone, and I was like, Cheryl, you know, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship, it pretty much is not happening at this point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four.
Right.
She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Cheryl Swoops.
The basketball community finally found a reliable person to join the Caitlin Clark discussion when Cheryl Miller walked into the All the Smoke podcast studio and totally lit up the detractors. When a basketball icon who has really coached Clark decides she's had enough of the foolishness, what happens? You get one of the most authentic defenses in women's basketball.
You're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes.
Yes.
But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time,
the same
sometimes
work.
maybe more than you were.
Right.
I can't fault her for what she was.
Her presence has enhanced the league overall, including their own pay, but her naysayers refused to accept this. Look, you know, as much as she...
I mean, look, as much as she was given, you can't tell me if that door would have swung the other way where she didn't live up to the hype.
Right.
Come on, folks are still waiting for it to fall.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yep.
So, with that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid.
Miller had a front row seat to evaluate Clark's performance outside of the highlight clips after coaching him in the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game. And even she was surprised by what she discovered. This is the reason Miller's defense is so strong.
He coached the WNBA All-Star Game. You spent some time with Caitlin Clark.
Best coaching job ever.
Best coaching job
Best
ever.
coaching job ever.
Being around Caitlin Clark, how was the experience for her? She's such a big star. I mean, the sky's the limit for her. To be around her, just talk about the type of person she is and how much she loves the game.
I'm going to be honest because it needs to be said. I can relate to that young lady, and I felt for her. I know what it's like to be hated. I know what it's like to be a black woman and hated because of my
skin.
color.
Finding out that the story wasn't true made me joyful and satisfied. Miller skillfully dissected months of media fluff in a single comment, going deeper and offering a distinct perspective on what makes Clark special.
Imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't.
Miller's scientific evaluation of Clark's skills hides something far more significant, a genuine emotional bond that formed at Clark's most difficult moments when the Fever finally won their first game of the 2025 campaign. Miller did more than just offer Clark his congratulations. When the rookie most needed it, she offered her unwavering support.
Pass, and I didn't know how talented she was and how well she sees the game in a 3D version, thinker. Defensively, a lot better than I thought and gave her credit for. So watching her and just spending a little time. And one thing, guys, that I've learned is to step back and let these kids be them.
Miller and Clark gave each other an embrace after Indiana's first win that went beyond simple basketball player banter. It was a pivotal moment that showed how isolated Clark had felt amid the torrent of criticism surrounding her league debut. Miller remembered that encounter's tremendous feeling. She shouted, Oh man, finally someone who's on my side, when she saw me and I gave her the best embrace I could. Everything from left to right was hitting her.
Getting hit with everything left and right, and I just said, I hugged her. I said, I'm so proud of you. I go, savor this. Use this as a formula. I said, but keep being you. I said, no matter what, keep being.
Advice that isn't just useless platitudes but rather comes from someone who has gone down a similar path. These weren't just words of comfort. For a newbie drowning in expectations and criticism, they were a lifesaver. You have my utmost admiration. Enjoy this. Use this as a formula, but never stop being who you are.
Crown that she's wearing right now.
Right.
And it wasn't something that she anointed herself. It's something that's been placed on her head, and I hope people understand that. But it's everything that she.
When Cheryl Miller talks, the basketball community listens, and with good reason. Her voice conveys the weight of an incredible career that includes 2 national titles, Olympic gold, 3 Naismith Player of the Year honors, and a place in the Basketball Hall of Fame. But Miller's backing goes beyond Clark's stellar background. She notices something about Clark that many critics fail to notice. She is more than just a scorer because of her exceptional court vision. Let us know in the comments how happy you are. Subscribe and turn on all notifications to make sure you never miss anything. We'll see you in the next one when you click the video on the screen.